darkest of all arts, demonology. It had to be. There was no other way. I could feel the life slipping out of me like love out of a betrayed spouse's heart. So I studied tomes so old the dust that fell from their centuries' unperused pages never knew the light of the stars that now shine. I drew forbidden symbols. I spoke unhallowed words, and from the smoke that rose like a dragon's last breath, a demon appeared to me and said, "Ask, O blighted king, and you shall have." "Just tell me," I cried. "Tell me what ails me." Hiraka. Never had I known a single word can cut deeper than the sharpest of daggers. With maddening glee, the demon told me she was one of his kin. A soul-swallowing horror that had been feeding on both my body and my spirit like a leech. An ancient being was she, that moved from king to king throughout the ages, filling their hearts with love, then draining them of life. After such revelations, does one truly desire to live on? Death seemed like a mother then, welcoming me with her "all will be well" embrace. Yet still I feared exceedingly her seemingly sweet caress, and the oblivion that would follow. Release me from her, demon, and give me back the strength of a sick, free existence. So went my desperate plea. It smiled, of course it did. Smiled bare 100 razors as its eyes came alight with infernal fire. "1,000 years I will give you," it whispered. "But then your soul shall be mine to incarcerate in the depths of hellish nemesis. As for your throne, that I'll have now. What say you, O brittle king? Do you accept my terms?" I think you know the answer to that question, Hunter. But I've said enough for now. These memories are painful to recollect. So let us turn to the rest of them later. And so let the hunt continue.
Well, well, well. So our very own demon hunter once dabbled in the so-called darkest of arts himself.
A man so utterly betrayed and dying will grasp at any straw. I can hardly blame him.
Neither can I. Clearly, his great love was almost the very death of him. She broke his heart in more ways than one, and I, too, would go to any length to repair it.
Oh.
Sisters, O seeking souls, the miracles with which the blessed conduit rid our mean and mangled...
Source Hunter, you've made it into the hamlet of Silverglen, I see. Unnerving spot, don't you find? Leandra has fashioned herself a hero here, but the townsfolk don't seem to know the truth behind the conduit. Though they call themselves, they're thick as trout if you ask me, and unnaturally obsessed with ancient teachings. I haven't seen Leandra here myself, but she must have put on quite a show of magical mastery to enthrall a crowd of shaggy miners, to have them hop on the bandwagon of a shadowy religion wholly alien to them. Haven't you heard them whisper of the blood? How their eyes shine when they discuss certain stellar stones? Star stones, of course, which drenched in blood become bloodstones and are used in healing rituals. Now, I can see how it could be a fantastic thing to nurse a dying human back to health, if all it takes is to sacrifice a toad. But I spy bloodlust in these people's eyes. A bloodlust that goes beyond the usual meaning of the word. They all act like they're following a benign goddess that will lead them to paradise. But I'll be a dappled Dalmatian if any of that is true. I've been shadowing the local priest, a man by the name of Loic. I have the feeling he knows more than most in Silver Glen, for I've followed him in the night when he meets with cloaked strangers, and goblins even. Mangoth, Hyberheim. Of strange things I've heard him whisper. Yes, this priest has shady goings-on written all over that smug, holier-than-thou face of his. But we must start at the beginning, Source Hunter. The White Witch is still at large. If we want to get to the true heart of Leandra's doings, we must start with her sister. And she's far likelier to be in her cabin among the trees than here among Leandra's followers. The advantage of being a puss, my friend, is that one can pussyfoot. A white-haired wizard draws attention, but a cat can move about unnoticed and, indeed, unseen. Not that I'm not extra wary of these bloodsuckers, though. There's a conspicuous absence of pets in this eerie little town. The Immaculate's presence here is highly disconcerting. But we mustn't lose sight of our mission, Source Hunter. The White Witch resides somewhere in the wilds of the surrounding forest, and we must find her.
Later we now know them to be. They are the blessings of the goddess wrought in action. Welcome be, O seeking souls, to this holy house of Immaculates. I am Loic, enlightened one among Immaculates, spokesman for the holy conduit, as she is spokesman for the goddess herself. Then it shall be my pleasure to answer them. We are the chosen ones of the goddess. The benedictions of the blood render our bodies and spirits unblemished, for such is her mercy, that we may all become part of the sacred soul. The conduit, yes, she the most exalted of all, second only to the goddess. It was she who brought us first her divine words, then her divine will, a will made real in blood. The goddess is the light and life of all. Corrupt is the world that generations of men and beasts have left behind, but immaculate it may be once more, cleansed in the blood of the unworthy. The few, the proud, the enlightened, theirs will be her kingdom. When red has run until no red is left, a paradise we will have shapen, and the goddess will dwell among us. You find yourself in the goddess's temple, therefore it follows she wants you to take the true path. So here, have this hallowed tome, read it, absorb the wisdom within, then find the second part and do with it the same. If an immaculate you want to be, a test of knowledge shall be your first step towards enlightenment.
The world is not immaculate as yet, friend. Be wary, be vigilant.
Farma Malbenita, a source hunter in Silver Glen. I have traveled mile on top of mile to find help, and now help has, how you say, appeared from skinny vapors. My story? Well, this is no small tale. I think perhaps you will be more interested in the, how you say, the short end of stick. I believe Lawrence, the leader of Mining Guild, tell my husband and many of other workers to mine deadly ore called tenebrium. Lawrence knew that this ore caused rot. Charming name, no? Yet ordered miners to continue. Many men, my Ben among them, become the sickness. And now they, kick down the bucket. But the sickness, it is not normal. It kills swift and terrible, not unlike Source. My son Sebi and I travel from our home to find truth. But this has proven not so easy. My sweet little Pomargo Vizago, my darling Ben. We got along like, peas and ferrets. We wait with hearts like stones for some months. And one day, we see familiar figure moving with strange steps on path toward cottage. We help him inside and set him to rest. But he was in terrible condition. When his father died, Sebi became restless. Being of the age, he joined army and go straight to front line. There we saw special legionnaire using strange weapon. And this legionnaire soon come to my tent with the same disease that killed Ben. I come to Silver Glen to discover truth. And here I find Lawrence, that arrogant man, conducts his business without apologize to any. Exactly this. Please, Source Hunter, you must help me prove that Lawrence made his workers to mine deadly tenebrium. Translation is difficult, but it means something like, if you fail, I will plant cherry tree and haunt your grandbaby beneath branches. Good luck. I will do my best to give answer, Source Hunter. I have not found scrap of civilization among these apes. As for neighbors, may Zalmoxis strike him down, the murderer! Nothing natural could cause such terrible disease at mere touch. A terrible disease. Do a salutoin, Hunter. What can I do for you?
Dear.
Nothing stronger than a glass of water for me, thanks.
Sure thing, darling.
No, sugar. That's a story for another day, ain't it? Speaking of, yours and mine has hardly begun. What say we get better acquainted upstairs? New order, Paul.
Quite a fine skeleton beneath that hide of yours, isn't there? Yes, a lovely, sturdy thing. I bet it'll last 100 generations, if treated properly.
Bit of that reeking of fresh blood.
Give one of the comfort folk a visit, if you're in the mood. I recommend Ruby for her imagination. But Ramon's fierce as a wildcat, if that interests you.
Blessed be! Well,
You dare disturb my ruminations?
Oh, do. Ah, thank...
You believe in the gods, baby? Is you there?
You there! Back off! Bicky boom! One more step and Bicky boom!
No, don't go! Please help me! That thing is keeping me trapped here! It's crazy! It'll kill me!
Calm down. We're not coming any closer. Let's just talk about this.
Yes, don't worry, miss. We'll get you out of this fix somehow.
We just keep our trap shut or Bicky boom! No folks, shoo or Bicky boom! Last warning or Bicky boom!
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you! You saved my life! It was that cur of a Frederick that did this to me. He locked me in here with that ridiculous creature. Dear me, I need to get out of this room. Yes, I'll go downstairs to catch a breath of fresh air, but do come and talk to me again if you want to hear more about what transpired here. My thanks once more, sweet hero.
Come hither, sweetheart, or if I had a star... Do you have a map? I just keep getting lost in your eyes. Me? I'm Ramon! I may not be a genie, but rub me right and I'll make your dreams come true. No questions, please. Ramon does not ponder. He does not wonder. He only loves.
I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me.
Come
Praise Brandon, what news from the mines?
No news, sir. Goblins will slice us to ribbons if we approach the ridge.
Yes! I can feel the goddess's vigor coursing through my very veins.
Why don't you
believe
stay
in the
a
gods,
while,
baby?
darling?
'Cause you're the
I
answer
just know I could take...
We haven't enough men among us to take on even a few of them, sir.
Are you deaf? I said I want those goblins!
Troll toll! Troll toll, if you please. It may be pointless, life may be pointless, but the toll needs to be paid. How could it be? My life is like the bridge behind me. Dear me, why? I stand here day and night. Once, though, I was happy. A girl, one of your very own kind, used to pass by. It's all the goblins' fault. They cut the ropes to prevent you humans from going to the mines below. Ropeless, pointless, and yet I must cry for toll. We asked for toll because our king commands us to. He is mad for gold. All his senses crave it. He is the king of Lucula Forest, and a most formidable troll indeed. I do not even like to talk about him, for fear he might find out and crush my skull like a walnut. Leave me, like she left me, my bonny lass.
A source hunter! My liege, I am at your disposal. I am Lawrence, the representative of the mining guild responsible for operations in Silver Glen. Oh, I am no one special. Merely a humble servant of the guild and shepherd to the happy flock of miners within this settlement. My only cause for complaint, your grace, are these awful goblins. They're starving us out, refusing even a single honest miner his right to work. Perhaps, my most upright highness, you might be able to help us with this little problem. You must forgive me if I become somewhat overcome when discussing it, my liege. To think how I've been betrayed. To think how the humble miners of Silver Glen suffer. I invited a tribe of goblins to assist us in clearing the tenebrium from our mine, you see. The leader of the troop, a satin-spitting Satan named Drexis, promised to clear the tenebrium and be gone. When the job was done, though, he and his band of totem-brained fiends refused to vacate. They've kept close guard of the bridges to the mine since. And they'll slice whoever dares approach them into ribbons. These goblins follow Drexis like lemmings, your grace, and if only I could undo the traitor, they'd slither back to the swamp they crawled from. Drexis's head on my mantle would save countless miners from a slow starvation, my liege. What's one goblin over countless disenfranchised workers?
Tell me, sweetie, you had some going? You always did.
Hi there, cutie pie. Want to have a good
business
time?
for you, anyway.
Swell or not.
Source hunter, are you? Don't be surprised if you hear more than a few unkind words about yours truly around town. An overseer's got to enforce his share of unpopular guild decisions, you know. I'm finished with this one-pony rodeo, though. I did my best by these roughnecks. And now it's time for old Brandon to take a load off. In fact, you may be able to help speed my retirement plan along.
Something seems fishy here. I don't think we should hear more.
Come. Brandon seems like an amiable fellow. I'd like to help him.
We've no idea what Brandon has in mind, and it'd be foolish to leave before we look.
We came here to find out all we can about this place, and we would be remiss to leave this stone unturned.
Share a moment together.
All right, we'll do it your way.
I knew a source hunter'd perk up at the sound of a challenge. Between you and me, the Troll King's sitting on a piece of treasure of more value than even he knows. A metal called tenebrium that can fetch a prettier sum than its weight in gold. I intend to lift it, sell it, and live out the rest of me days in comfort. The devil's in the details, though, and I haven't managed to find a way to access the King's Cave, much less make off with the stuff without being noticed. But you're a source hunter. You can sniff out any point of mystery. So let's make a deal, You find the tenebrium and bring it to me, and I'll deliver you a few pieces of information about Silver Glen, and Lawrence in particular, that are sure to make your mouth water. I wouldn't wish the wrath on me worst enemy, though. So let me give you a little something to contain the tenebrium bars. It's lined with the fragments of a special stone that keeps rot's ill effects at bay. Apart from Gungir's stature and incurable case of the uglies, it's not so different from a parakeet. Got a brain the size of a pea, and a fervent passion for all things bright and shiny. The nutty oaf sits on a river of silver beneath these mines, but leases it to the mining company for a fraction of its worth in gold. He'd rather put those hefty minions of his on toll duty than mine these hills himself for 5 times the reward. I can't be certain myself where his cave is located, but at least one of those oaf lackeys of his must know where to look. They've got to do something with all the gold they've gathered in the course of guarding those damn bridges, haven't they? I'm no man to refuse a source hunter. Ask away, Fred. A strange sort of substance. Rot! Oh, you're a curious sort of fella, aren't you? Lawrence actually invited those bug-eyed creeps here himself. I remember him well. Decent man, strong-backed, with something of a funny accent, no? He managed to leave Silverglen alive, but as I recall, the symptoms of rot were already upon him.
I don't mean to make trouble where there ain't any, comrade, but in my years of hunting source, I learned that anyone so eager to climb into your lap after a moment's meeting is hiding something they hope you won't discover. I'm not saying this Lawrence character is involved in sorcery, but it wouldn't exactly surprise me a lick to find out he knows more than he's letting on.
Do you believe in the
Warms
gods?
my heart to picture him squirming about plain as day with 3 seasoned source hunters on his tail. Nowhere to hide his sniveling mug than at the bottom of a burlap sack.
Hi there, honey. You look... Is he a gentle troll? Would he benefit from my particular expertise, you think? And I'll take that gold. Cheers, darling. Well, I guess I'll be off to visit Mr. Troll then.
So, unless I'm very much mistaken, we just paid a courtesan to cheer up a lonely troll.
What's wrong with that? The fellow needed cheering, and that's what she'll do.
When you put it like that, I guess you could say we performed an act of great kindness.
Do you believe in the gods?
Honestly, where is Marissa? Because we are supposed to find
Hey there,
her.
fallen strong. Up for a little...
Goddess greetings, friend.
Where the wind blows, the goddess breathes.
You've always been Silver Glen's finest friend.
Come hither, sweetheart, or if I had a star for every time you write in my name.
Oh, you startled me. Let me compose myself. Hello, stranger. How can I help you? He's Will? But that means he's... Oh, no. Oh, not my cutie, broody buttercup.
Come hither, sweetheart, or if I had a star for every time you brighten my day, I'd have a galaxy in my hand. Come hither, sweet.
And so she asked, Granny, why do you have such large and hairy ears? To which Granny replied, Why, so that I can hear you better, my dear.
No.
I can't believe it.
Be careful, little Red Riding Hood.
Cumberland Ruby, the best of chums.
How can she stand there and regale that heap of troll grease with her stories?
To think I've spent hundreds worth of troll toll on her, and she just lay there quiet as a mouse.
Says more about you than it does about her, that.
Friend, champion of my heart, I cannot describe my rapture. A ruby you have brought me, more precious than any other on this earth. Happiness, he has returned in all his sunny glory.
I'm kind of in the middle of something here, Sugar. The poor darling felt all alone in the wide world, but now he's pleased as peppers. And to say true, I am too.
To be jealous of that cretin of a fumble, it's inconceivable.
And yet here we are. We only have ourselves for company. But he gets to
And then
stare
she
in Ruby's
asked,
eyes all
Granny,
long day.
why do you have
Her eyes
such
are lots
big,
of size.
shiny
Lucky
eyes?
son of a troll, that
To
one.
which Granny
Did he ever
replied,
I think I'm
Perhaps he
gonna...
so
Take
that I
some
can
now.
see you better, my dear.
Dear time. So, thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.